Hi, I'm Robin Waite, author of #1 best-selling book, Online Business Startup, and I'm doing a series of videos about how to improve your business, online and social media strategies. This is the third in the series of the business strategy section, and it's all about how to keep the numbers in order for your business. So my first major tip for the financial side of your business is to find yourself a good, reputable chartered accountant. There's nothing wrong with you doing your bookkeeping on a regular basis, but certainly for your year ends, it's really helpful to have a good accountant who is ultimately going to end up saving you time in terms of efficiency because they know what they're doing. They're going to save you money because they know the tax system inside out, and they will give you very, very good advice. So I'd suggest that there's nothing wrong with you doing your bookkeeping on a daily basis. And my best piece of advice in that respect is really do it on a regular basis, sort of little and often, rather than wait until the end of the year to kind of compile all of your accounts. Because otherwise you'll end up with this mad rush of trying to find all your receipts and tally everything up, and it's just going to be really chaotic. So try and do just 5 to 10 minutes per day in terms of your bookkeeping, and that'll also save yourself time and money when it comes to the end of the year. Money because you're not going to have to pay your accountant to do all of that legwork for you. The second piece of advice which I want to offer, or second tip, is really about you need to understand the basics when it comes to accounts. So if you watch Dragon's Den, they'll always ask about what turnover you're expecting, what's your gross profit margin, what's your net profit going to be off the back of that, and over sort of 3 or 5 years' time. So you don't necessarily have to understand how to go through and do complicated kind of forecasts, but actually just understanding the basics in terms of like your profit and loss account. What constitutes revenue, so that's your total income. Gross profit is then that revenue minus your direct costs or direct expenses, and then net profit is based on it's your revenue minus your direct costs, but then also minus your overheads. Your overheads are the day-to-day costs associated with your business, such as kind of paying salary, expenses, travelling, all those sorts of things. And there's a couple of other things which you might want to look at as well and try and understand, and that's the balance sheets and the cash flow forecast for your business. So the balance sheet tends to include things like assets, so if you own your premises or vehicles or those sorts of things, and also liabilities, so if you've got long-term loans, those assets and liabilities don't tend to show up in the profit and loss accounts. And then a cash flow forecast really is about trying to prepare yourself for the future. So if you understand when your business is liquid and when it's not, and you can see how much cash is coming in and out of your business, it just allows you to prepare for any potential problems which might crop up in the future. And finally, I would also suggest, in terms of the basics, is just understand your business key performance indicators. So if you sell products, for example, you should know on a monthly, a weekly basis what target you should be aiming at, how many products you should be selling on a regular basis in order for your business to be to maintain profitability. So work those key KPIs out, key performance indicators out for yourself, and then make sure you measure it on a regular basis. My third tip is around what tools you might want to choose to use in terms of your accounting and bookkeeping. There's some really great tools out there, cloud-based tools, for doing bookkeeping these days, and those include things like Xero, QuickBooks, and Sage 1, for example, are just 3 which I can name off the top of my head. The benefits are that you can access them anytime, anywhere via the internet, and have a really quick snapshot and overview of kind of how your business is performing. We switched from a traditional kind of method of doing our bookkeeping into a cloud-based solution. It actually saved us about 80% of the time that we were taking to do it previously. We were doing it 80% more efficiently through using cloud-based tools. Xero, for example, has some great features in terms of being able to deliver recurring invoices automatically. So if you bill your customers on a monthly basis, it just sends those invoices and does the paperwork for you automatically. It can automatically connect up to your bank, so you can do bank reconciliations very quickly and efficiently. You can deliver statements on a regular basis to your customers who've got outstanding debts with you. You can also integrate it with your CRM, your customer relationship management tool, so that the two are linked, and you can start to measure your sales performance, your KPIs, against how that looks in terms of your books and your accounting. And you can also do things like your VAT return automatically through something like Xero. It connects up to HMRC automatically and stores the reports for you. And like I said, you can access it anywhere, anytime. My fourth tip really is around payroll. Again, Xero and the other online tools, cloud-based tools, mostly now have payroll solutions built into them, and so they do all of the tax calculations for you automatically. You can print out pay slips and email them to your employees automatically. Just saves a huge amount of time and money. And really, if you're not confident about doing something like payroll, then it doesn't really cost that much once it's set up to get it done by an accountant or bookkeeper. My fifth tip is paperwork, and the key thing really here is to be regimental. Do it regularly, do a small amount, and do it very often. There are things which you kind of do still need to keep paper-based versions of for your accountant, and those include things like sales invoices, purchase receipts, expenses, VAT return reports, payroll reports, bank statements, and then any notifications which you get from Companies House or HMRC. All of this paperwork is actually, firstly, it's really useful for your accountant at the end of the year. If you've got well-documented records and neatly stored in LibreArch files, you can just hand over a box to your accountant and he's up and running. The second thing is you do need to keep, as a statutory requirement, you do need to keep paperwork for anything up to 7 years to satisfy Companies House. So an HMRC. So if ever you get investigated, they will likely ask for paper copies of certain documents. So it's worthwhile just being aware of which documents those are. And like I said, just do little and often, 5 to 10 minutes worth of bookkeeping paperwork tasks per day. This is really for smaller businesses. So if you've got if you don't have a dedicated admin person looking after your books, and you're just a sort of either a one-man band, or maybe you've got 4 or 5 employees and you're going to still be doing a lot yourself, just do little and often. It just makes it that much more manageable. So those are my 5 top tips for managing your books and your accounts. And if you want to know more, then please do get a copy of my book. It's called Online Business Startup, available on Amazon, or by all means drop me an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thanks very much. So thanks once again for watching the video. I hope you found some of the tips helpful, and if you've got any questions, then please do leave some comments in the boxes below the video. If you want to be informed about any future videos which I upload, then please click here to subscribe. And then finally, if you haven't already, head on over to Amazon using this button just here to buy the book, Online Business Startup. Thanks for watching. I'm Robin Waite.